What is going on, everybody? He is I am him. It's your main man, Chi. This right here is bittersweet, y'all. This is bittersweet. Um, I I had another season finale or podcast ending episode for So in the Meantime. But I'd rather do it this way. The other one is it's going to have the similar. We're still talking about the same stuff, But I feel like I feel this right now is the moment for me to do it. So as you heard, this is it. This is the last episode for So in the Meantime. If you happen to watch my State of the Pod, I did address where this was going, and I'm looking forward to conversations with Chi coming out, rolling that out real soon. I have to just iron out some details and things like that, but that will be coming out soon. So stay tuned. But a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. It's been a minute since I graced y'all with my presence, so. Is it time? Should I do a check-in? Should I do the check-in? Yeah, I should do the check-in. I haven't done one in a minute, y'all. So, the check-in. Don't worry. The check-in will still be intact with Conversations with Chi. That is not going nowhere because that is something that is meaningful to me. It's something that I always want to do. I always want to let y'all in on what's going on with me, my mental work, physical, things like that. I want to let y'all know, and I want everybody who's watching this to always do that with others. If you happen to be with your friends, do a check-in, see how they're doing. And then I picked this up from the Pivot as well. Ryan Clark was saying, are you good? And what do you need? There's something else that he said too. I blanked out on it, but it's within that realm. It's kind of similar to a check-in, but he started doing this, and I'm a big fan of the Pivot. I'm a big fan of RC and Fred Taylor and Shannon Crowder. So my check-in. So mentally, I'm good. I'm in a good headspace. It took a while for me to get into this headspace, but a special person told me, we spoke, and they had mentioned how they're just grateful for a lot of stuff. And it changed my perspective of a lot of things. Like, I shouldn't be upset of things that I can't control. I say that all the time to anybody that I talk to when they're going through something. I say, okay, can you control this problem? If you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. Just let it go. And I have to now take that on myself. So I went and I'm doing that. I'm being very grateful for everything that I have, and everything that is coming my way. Physically, I'm sore right now because I went to the gym early this morning. And yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one. I haven't been in the gym for a minute, so getting back into it is kind of, yeah, I was definitely on some muscle failure, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good in that realm. I'm just looking forward to seeing the results of the work I put into the gym. Business wise, the jobs are good. Yeah, they're good. My career is, I can never have any, I won't say I can never have issues or never have complaints about there, because there's some things that's happening, but I have no control over it. So I have to just put my head down and keep doing what I'm doing, keep grinding out, keep doing the necessary things that I have to do, and prove myself. The job knows my worth. They know what I'm capable of. So I'm grateful for that. So, a lot has happened in the course of time since last time I've been on here. Oh, man, it's so much, but I don't want to take a lot of y'all guys' time on this here finale. First things first, even though I despise this team because they took my team out in the Western Conference Finals, congratulations goes out to the Denver Nuggets. And the only one true fan I know that is a Denver Nuggets fan, and that's my boy Brandon. Shout out to you, man. I know this is something at the end of the day, I mean, we go back and forth, but at the end of the day, that team, Jamal Murray, and it's mainly Jamal Murray. I'm a big Jamal Murray fan, but well deserved for that team. Mainly Jamal Murray. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So, big ups to the Denver Nuggets for securing their first championship in franchise history. But the talk is no longer about the NBA champions. The talk is all about the free agency. And boy, oh boy, the free agency, Chris Paul to Golden State, which I don't understand why that even happened. Bradley Beal to Phoenix. A lot of people are going on record now saying that Phoenix is the betting odds on favorite. I beg to differ. Houston's making some moves. But let me say this much right now. Speaking of Houston, Dillon Brooks, in my opinion, did not deserve the contract that he got. That's just me. I know JJ Redick has been on record saying that, you know, he's happy for him. He thinks he deserves it. I know my boy Assad, who is a Grizzlies fan, was, you know, he's saying that, you know, he's happy for Dillon Brooks. But I don't think that he deserves. I don't think his play warrant him $80 million. $80 million? You know, Derrick Rose is going back to Memphis. That's where that's where he went to school at, so he's going back there. I believe he might have even had a stint in Memphis at one point, like a brief stint in Memphis. I could be wrong, but well, you know, Saad can probably let me know about that, obviously. But my guys, my boys Reloaded, let me tell you, and all the sports media people are saying it all. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear y'all get on this train, okay? But we made some moves. And we made realistic. We made like logical moves. First things first, we re-signed Austin Reeves. So Austin Reeves jersey is on the way. Okay, I was going to say the name that, you know, a lot of people wanted to give him, but because of his initials and his number, I can say it, but I don't want to say it because then I might get flagged, so I'm not going to say it. But Austin Reeves, his number is 15. You can do the rest. You can do the math. But we re-signed Austin Reeves. We re-signed Hachimura. We picked up some people. We picked up Taurean Prince from Minnesota. We picked up Gabe Vincent from Miami. He's a shooter, so I'm proud of that. You know, he did his thing in Miami for some time. Obviously, like I said, Cam Reddish, you know, I mean, we got Cam Reddish, and just this is what we needed. We needed to keep our core, shift some things around, sign a few new players, but make sure that we go young. We are young this year. The only thing I don't like is I don't like that we re-signed D'Angelo, but I can understand why we did so because who can we get to replace him in free agency? Hopefully this offseason, with a full offseason with the Lakers and a full time with Bron and AD, D'Angelo may go back to his old ways when he was in Minnesota, when he was in Utah. Like, when he was elsewhere, Brooklyn, all these other, like I said before, I felt though as if he was balling like he was on a mission. And then when he got back to LA, it just seemed though as if he was just like, maybe the lights is too bright for him, or maybe that pressure of putting that purple and gold on. Because let me tell y'all something. That ain't no, you don't just put that jersey on. This is like, oh, he's out. No, you put that jersey on, you going to work. Like that's it. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. You going to work, dog. You going to work. We don't hang division crowns up here. We hang championship banners. Okay? And as Nick Wright said, and this is the only time you'll ever hear me agree with Nick Wright. But when LeBron has a team that is put in place, that is a good team, that makes sense, good things happen. Good things happen. You know? So we have to wait and see, man. But the big talk of the free agency, Dame time. We are on Dame watch right now. Damian Lillard has basically said, yo, I want out of Portland. You know, he let the front office of Portland know that he wants to be traded. I knew this was going to happen. And the only reason why I knew this was going to happen was because he wanted to know what Portland was going to do, obviously, in the in the draft. And they pretty much drafted his predecessor. And then he said, okay, well, let's see what y'all doing in free agency. Maybe y'all going to do something. Maybe y'all going to trade, whatever. They re-signed Young. So it's pretty obvious that this is what they're doing. They're looking to rebuild and go young. And Dame seen that, and Dame was like, I want out. So now the question is, where's Dame going? Rumors of him going possibly to Miami. I know the Sixers are somewhat in the conversation. I heard the Spurs. Listen, all I can say as far as this pick or this possible trade, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Now, I'm saying that as I'm looking on my phone to make sure that I didn't see any alerts that Damian Lillard got traded. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. I can see him playing out the season and probably get traded maybe before the trade deadline. But a lot of people are like kind of upset with Dame. Like, oh, you know, that's a sucker move, Dame. Like you said, you was going to grind it out. Listen, how much more can this man take? This man arguably is one of the best players in the league right now. And he's on borrowed time now. You know, he's watching all these young players coming in the game, and he's seeing that he wants to win. He wants a chip. You know I said in the past that there's some players that want to just create that generational wealth for their family. They want to just secure that money and take care of their family. Dame is set for life. Okay? He has that generational wealth. He has that money now that can be passed on to his family, his kids. Okay? He has that now. But now he's like, I want validation. You know, we live in a world where in sports, people validate success off of championships, you know. But there are those that are great players that never won. You know, we got the Barkleys of the world. We got the Stocktons. In football, we got the Marinos. You know, we got Jim Kelly, Barry Sanders. You know, go back to basketball, we have Melo. Melo never won a chip. Allen Iverson never won. But they're still great. They are still Hall of Fame players. Dame doesn't want to be in that category of the players that were great but never won. Dame wants to win. I think Miami may be the best pick, the best suitable option for him, because I feel like that Heat culture with Dame pushing and running the floor will be perfect. Jimmy, Dame, and Bam, hands down, perfect. It'll be a perfect fit. But as I believe Michael Smith referred to him, I forgot. Oh, man, I blanked out. But James Harden. James Harden, you know, speaking of free agency and trades, James Harden is looking to be dealt for I don't know. He's like the MVP of the free agency because he's always getting traded. He's like one of the most popular people in the trade. He's always in trade talk. Free agency, he's always there. He's looking to leave Philly because Philly wasn't going to pay him, so now he's looking to leave, and he's looking to go to the Clippers. And as I said before, I've said this to my boy Brandon, I will say this to y'all. The Clippers and James Harden is a perfect fit because both of them are going to clip. Both of them are going to fail in the playoffs. All the hype, no bark at the end of the day. Perfect fit for them. I'm a little upset. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was a little hurt that Kyrie, you know, decided to re-sign with the Mavs, but you know what that means. Luka's leaving. Just saying, Luka's going to be out of Dallas soon. And, Laker fans are like Cowboy fans to a degree. You know, whatever free agency is available, that's why I say that. Because how the Cowboys are like, we winning next year. We winning in a champion. We win the Super Bowl next year. I really sound like Stephen A. Smith when I said that. But but I feel that free agency comes, I'm the Cowboys of free agency. I'm always like, well, we getting Kyrie. We getting Russ. We getting Dame. We getting Giannis. We getting any free agent that is available. I am the first to say he's coming to the Lakers. He's coming to the Lakers. Like, no. Like, they're all coming to the Lakers. And I end up looking like a fool because they're not on the Lakers. Okay. So I want to dive into, because I in the other video I talked about Ja Morant, and I talked about the 25-game suspension that he was served as the finals concluded. We all knew that when the finals concluded, we were going to be told what his punishment was, and his punishment is 25 games. And a lot of people are kind of like, that was kind of not a slap on the wrist, but I thought it would have been more, or that's it. But you have to take into account the new CBA, which states you have to play a minimum of, I believe, 62 games. Him being suspended for 25, he's only eligible for 57 games. He's not going to be able to play. He's not going to be eligible for those postseason awards. Those postseason awards is bonuses and adds more. He lost, I believe, 12 million or upward between 12 to 40 million. I believe those was the range that he's lost because he didn't make any of the all NBA teams. No MVP, you know. And for those that forgot the whole situation with John Moran, he was caught again with a firearm and then turned around, and first it was the statement, which felt very much like it was Chat GPT. And then it was a toy gun. It was a toy one. So then there was footage of Ja holding this, saying it was a lighter. It was a gun that was designed as a lighter. I hope, because I had a lot to say about this, and I've had time, and obviously out of sight, out of mind. We haven't heard anything about the situation ever since they announced that he was suspended for 25 games. I hope that Ja really takes this time and has since taken this time since all of this has happened and has had some come to Jesus moment and is really looking to better himself. Now, Ja has now a point guard, a veteran point guard, who he idolized growing up in Derrick Rose. I hope with Derrick Rose being on Memphis that he can do some type of guidance for him and help him become a better man. Not a better player, but a better man. Because I mean, I was rough on him, and I'm still gonna be. Like, I've always said that, you know, I wasn't the biggest Ja Morant fan. You know, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I mean, he's explosive, he's cool, but I always feel though as if he has the Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade syndrome, early Dwayne Wade. And what I mean by that is, if you remember when Wade first started playing ball, Wade was just Allen Iverson. Wade was hitting the ground, taking punishment, and it took a toll on his body, and Wade was hurt for some time. And we all know the Allen Iverson story. That man, I remember a commercial that he did where he was sitting on a training table, and they showed every injury with an arrow pointing to the body parts. And it was so crazy because that man really took a toll on him. I'm wearing some questions right now, okay? But I just really, those two remind me. And now Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, same way. Explosive. Injury bug took him out. Derrick Rose has never been the same. He's improved and has his spurts of the old D Rose, but that explosiveness, that going to the basket and just it's gone. It's gone. So I just hope that Ja really can learn from D Rose. I do. I really do. Before I wrap this up, because I didn't want to take much of your time. I did go see Fast and Furious, and let me tell you this much right now: Fast 10 is by far it was bad. It was bad. I do have a review. I have a few reviews that I've done, and it was just bad, y'all. It was bad. Out of the 10 that have been out, action is going to be incredible. The action is just nonstop. But the movie itself wasn't good. The best part of this movie was Jason Momoa, Dante. You know, and I'm still going to end up buying the movie because I have all 9 of them. But I mean, the big talk of that was obviously Hobbs coming back, The Rock coming back, and him having this. So I do have a Fast X review coming out, so be on the lookout for that. That will be dropping soon. But before I wrap this up, as this is the end of an era, so in the meantime, there was an end of an era in the debate shows. As we all are aware by now, Shannon Sharpe has left FS1 and has left Undisputed. At the conclusion of the finals, Game 5 was that Monday. Shannon Sharpe left that following Tuesday, was his last day. A lot of people, a lot of speculation. I did a whole episode on this matter, and a lot of stuff that I spoke about on that episode came true. A lot of the pivotal moments that caused the friction between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless came to light. You know, I feel like from the moment Skip Bayless disrespected Shannon Sharpe with the "you're jealous of Tom Brady," from that moment, there was a shift in their relationship. I feel like that moment, I feel like the Damar Hamlin moment, did a lot. You know, Skip Bayless being the way he is, the way he approached that tweet, the way he basically said, "I'm not taking it down. The executives weren't upset with me." And throughout this time from that moment till the moment of the leak of him leaving and agreeing to a buyout, I've been paying close attention to certain people in that space, you know, in the media space. And one of them in particular, even though I really was not a big fan of his, was Marcellus Wiley. And Marcellus really let people in on what happens on Undisputed, what happens within FS1. And he pretty much was like, the higher ups, they listen to Skip. They do. The minute you cross Skip, that's it. If you've done something to upset Skip, you can rest assured you may not be within FS1. You know, I think back to when Jen Taff and him got into it. And Jen left. Jen went back to doing sideline reporting for college. You know, she had her baby and then she did that. But even then, you seen the relationship that Jen Taff had with Shannon Sharpe opposed to Skip. And right when they announced that, or right when that New York Post article came out or tweet came out saying that this was happening, Jen was just like showing her love to Shannon Sharpe. And you're starting to see that a lot of people show love to Shannon and a lot of people admire Shannon and they have resentment towards Skip. Now, Skip is the reason we all who watch debate shows, sports debate shows, have to thank him for that. Regardless of how you may feel, Skip Bayless, as they've anointed him, is the godfather of sports debate shows. All the sports shows that we have now that have that format of a host, of two hosts and a moderator, or just two hosts and they talk and they're debating, that's all predicated from Skip. That's all predicated from Skip. You have Wilbon and the PTI guys, which is similar, but the First Take, Undisputed, Speak for Yourself, First Things First, maybe Brother from Another, they're all within that debate type of show. And it's kind of because of Skip. The Herd is the only one that's not, because the Herd is, Colin Cowherd is straight talk radio. Like, that's him. He took his talk radio show and made it into a televised show. You know, he's someone that I look at as like, okay, like if I wanted to do something similar, I would do like the Herd, you know. But seeing Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe interact for the last time was bittersweet to me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play the audio of Shannon Sharpe saying his farewell, and then I'll come back and I'll speak more about this matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is officially my last day at work. After 7 years, the train stops for Shannon Sharpe and Undisputed right here. And over 7 years, I've made a lot of friends, and I'd like to take the time now to thank some of these people. First, I'd like to thank Fox and FS1 for giving me this opportunity, for believing in me, and allowed me to share this stage with a young man that I've sat across from for 7 years. I want to thank you. I want to thank my original boss, Jamie Horowitz, who got on a plane, came down in Atlanta, and told me I could be a star. You can do this. You can sit across from Skip Bayless and do this. I see it in your eyes. I see the passion in which you talk. You can do this. Thank you. I want to thank the ladies in the makeup room. I started out with Sevia, and then went to Jumpsuit and Uke, and then Brett, and then Jumpsuit, and back to Brett. And even her aunt would fill in sometimes. Guys, you've been amazing. To Nusheen Faraji, who never colored my hair or given me a haircut, but had all these great ideas. I'm going to really miss you and how you mispronounce words. The wardrobe room, Autumn and Tracy and all the others. Every day at 6:10, you would knock on the door. Can I help you with your cufflinks? Can I turn down your collar? Can I help you with your tie? Double tie, you did everything. I'm going to miss you guys, and hopefully you miss me as much as I miss you. Bonnie Lou in audio. You mic'd me up for 7 straight years, and it's been great. Sharing pictures, you show me your dogs, I show you my dogs. Bonnie, I just got one more question. What am I going to do with this 843 credit score? To all my stage managers, Johnny Lee, Karen, Craig, thank you. Craig, you've been unbelievable. You brought me my note for the last year. I want to thank you. Sometimes I get frustrated like, Craig, where are the damn notes? You say, just give me a minute. They haven't come through yet. To my producer, Steve Owens, we had 6 great years together, bro. I miss you more than you know. Thank you for how you handled me and gave me some great words of advice. But Ash, you knocked it out the park. I trust you more than anything. The way you can read me, the way you understand me, the way you say word it like this. There are times that I come up here And I'm like, we didn't talk about this, and you'd have notes that would help me in the debate. I'm going to miss you more than you ever know. Ah, my goodness. Who else do I want to thank? I want to thank the security. D, Cowboy Lover, Derek, every morning. You hug me this morning, I see you start to wail up, bro. I'm going to miss you also. Edo at the security front desk, I'm going to miss you also. Sent, my girl. Every day for 7 years, as I get off the elevator, you ask me, do I want anything? You would get me pancakes, you would get me bacon and scrambled eggs. And you would walk me down to my car. I want you to do it one last time for me, Sent. Get me some pancakes, get me some scrambled eggs, and give me some bacon. And last but not least, Skip Bayless. You fought for me, bro.
Did I?
I'm here because of you. You've allowed me to share the stage with you. You've allowed me to share the platform. I'm going to cry in the car, but I'm not going to cry now. The opportunity that you gave me to become what I became, I'm forever indebted to you. I'll never forget what you did for me. You've helped me grow more than you ever know.
Okay, this is not easy for me either. But
One more thing before you go, Skip.
Okay.
One more thing. All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
Which is why I want to thank you for all you have given to me. When I first took this job back in June of 2016, we had a whole nother format in mind until it became clear Shannon Sharpe is available. And I said, I believe he can do this. And did you ever?
So the one thing that a lot of people, my cousin, shout out to my cousin Adrian, she pointed it out. She didn't like how Shannon motioned as Skip was talking. It's like Shannon disregarded what Skip had to say. But you have to understand, Shannon probably felt disrespected. Shannon probably didn't want to listen to anything that Skip had to say because he's like, Skip, I mean, it's your fault. You know, this relationship, this show is now no more as people know it to be because of you. And then I watched Shannon Sharpe's, it's like he did a reel, you know, like a highlight reel of his last day. And right as the show was over, it's though as if it was two strangers that just left the set. And they'd never be the same. The show would never be the same. I just seen something yesterday on Twitter. I'm recording this on the 4th of July. But I seen this on Twitter yesterday. Skip had said that Lil Wayne and Young Money is going to be heavily involved in Undisputed moving forward. What does that entail? I don't know. A lot of people are curious on who's going to be the new host or the new debater for Skip. A lot of names are being thrown out there. The Shady McCoys are being thrown out there. I believe he's the front runner. With the massive unloading of ESPN employees, Keyshawn Johnson is rumored to be there. I heard something about Max, but I don't think so. Somebody even threw the idea of Michael Irvin, but I think Irvin is devoted to ESPN with Stephen A. Smith. People even teased or wanted to see a Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless reunion, which I think is going to happen, but I just don't know when. But I do see them two at some point in time doing something together again. I mean, people was talking about Ancho, which I don't think he's going to do. Some people was even thinking Nick Wright. I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Undisputed and that moving forward. I believe that, a lot of people are saying that Shannon Sharpe is going to ESPN, that this boatload, this unloading of talent was for them to secure and pay Shannon Sharpe a good, handsome amount of money. But I feel though as if with them signing Pat McAfee, I don't see them doing that. And I don't see Shannon Sharpe going there. I just don't. I can see, because Pat left FanDuel, I can see him taking Club Shay Shay and partnering with FanDuel and having a Club Shay Shay probably every day. That's what I can see. I know I was on his Instagram, he was just at the Essence Fest over the weekend. He had a hosting gig that he had there, and it's just like, I'm glad to see that Shannon Sharpe is making moves, but Undisputed is going to not be the same. I don't think I can watch Undisputed now. I struggle with listening to Skip on his podcast now, but I've always done that because I feel though as if Skip needs someone. He can't just have a conversation, or he can't do a podcast by himself where he's just talking. It's like he has to have that person to counter that debater, a Stephen A, a Shannon Sharpe. I mean, we can even go back, Woody Page, that. So when I tell you I follow the debate shows, I had to follow it. I remember Cold Pizza when it was a sports show, a sports version of Good Morning America. And they had all these different segments. And the one segment that stood out and the viewership went up was on the First and 10. That's what it was called back then. But we'll just have to wait and see. I have to wait and see. I think that Undisputed probably won't be coming back until maybe camp, opening day of training camp, I think. But could be next week. We'll have to wait and see, because I do know that they normally take like a break after the finals, and then they come back around after the holiday season. So maybe they'll come back. Maybe Skip will be back next week, and then we'll see what happens. But till then, man, I'm just looking to see what Shannon Sharpe's doing, because I'm a big Shannon Sharpe fan. I remember my mom, she was asking me about it, and she was like, what's the big deal with Shannon Sharpe? Like, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was watching his farewell, and I was teary-eyed. I was getting a little emotional watching it. I was like, damn. This can't be, man. Not the show, not Unc, man. Not Goat James with the goat mask. Shannon Sharpe is the reason I bought a goat mask. Not for like LeBron, but I bought a goat mask inspired by Shannon Sharpe for Royal Club. Like, I did that because of him. I found the exact same goat mask. Y'all have seen it. Y'all followed the Royal Club page, which is on this channel. You will see I have the goat mask. His energy, just how he was, just everything. Is like, as a podcaster, as a person who's in media, I study Shannon Sharpe. I study his determination, his prep. The man preps like I believe no one I've seen or know of preps for a show. Really put in the time and put in the work. And I think anybody that gets him is going to be very blessed and thankful to have him. So, with that being said, this is it. This is the final call. This is the final episode. This is it, man. for So in the Meantime. You know, as I told y'all in the past, and I'm going to reiterate it, this podcast was, as the name said, So in the Meantime. It was only temporary. I had to go back and forth, like I said, and try to figure out what I wanted to do. Not going to go back down that. You know, go back and watch the State of the Pod, and you'll hear my spiel about how I got to Conversations with Chi. But lot of incredible moments, you know, since doing this pod, and the evolution of the pod, you know, going from straight audio based to being in a studio that's across the hall from where I am now to now being here. And I mean, the pod is not just only going to be shot here. You know, I'm going to be shooting in different locations, interviewing some people. I would like to, and I probably am. And just have these conversations, you know, have talks, you know, just everything that this pod was. It's just the same pod. It's just a different name, you know, and I'm going to do more. You know, I may incorporate some of my reviews that I've done or I will be doing. That's going to be a separate one, but I'm going to probably integrate it into the video. You know, you just never know what you're going to expect with Conversations with Chi. But for everybody that tuned in for So in the Meantime, I thank y'all. I hope that y'all continue to follow the journey that I'm on with Conversations with Chi. It's going to be definitely worth the while. I want to thank everybody that was ever on anybody that was ever on So in the Meantime, from, I believe, my first guest, which was my cousin Russ, my brother, obviously, my brother from another side, my brother from another, my boy Moises, Tamara, my sister. My brother refers to her as his sister in pain, struggle, and victory. My boys Jonathan and Kyle. I think that's it. Yeah, because that's all. It's all I've been done. But more is going to come. More interviews, more guests, more people. I mean, you're going to probably see a Zoom interview. You know, I'm going to be in different locations, like I said. But trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, if you are new, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, let me know what y'all think of free agency. Let me know what y'all think where Dame's going, what's going on with James Harden, what y'all feel about the Undisputed thing. Let me know what y'all think about Fast X. Let me know in the comments. And make sure you are make sure you keep up to date. So make sure you hit that notification bell as well. He is I am him. It's your main man, Chi. I am signing off. Till next time with a brand new show, brand new look. Conversation with Chi will be dropping. I love every last one of y'all. Thank y'all. I'm out. Later.